knocking upon your front door.
Mark Brodinsky, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Richard. It's a pleasure. It's an honor to be on this podcast. Make your day, Richard. Looking forward to
yes, and you do it in such a brilliant way. And I love when, people think that like they have to move mountains in order to make a difference in people's lives. And I think that deters people from trying to make a difference, because in the nonprofit world, they think $1 isn't going to change. And in the real world, they think just being kind to someone isn't going to change them. And what you're doing like gives me goosebumps, because it's so simple and anybody can do it, and you're doing it in such an innovative way. So can you tell everybody about your You Matter movement?
Sure. It all began because I heard a story, and that's how we all connect, right? Stories are how the human race is connected. Heard a story from a mentor of mine, Darren Hardy, who has a program, Darren Daily, that he does a mentoring session every morning. And it was 5 years ago. I was actually getting ready for work listening to it. And he told a story about two women who met in a grocery store. And so the woman at the register is actually talking to the cashier, and she's not complaining, but sharing her thoughts about what's going on in her world, because the cashier asked her a question. Her son's up to his old tricks. Her husband has lost his job. Her mom is sick. There's another woman standing back, Cheryl, who's in line, and hears this woman talking. So Cheryl doesn't know what to do. She's like, should she pay for the groceries? She easily could have. She's a very successful pharmaceutical executive. Should she offer to try to get a job for the husband? But she does nothing at the time. But then Cheryl sees the woman in the parking lot, and they start talking. Cheryl goes up to her and says, it sounds like you're going through a lot right now. And this woman says, yes, I am. And then Cheryl remembers that she had something in her purse that someone gave to her. It was a card. So Cheryl hands the woman the card, and the woman starts crying and says, you have no idea how much I need this right now. This is just a true gift. Thank you so much. And on that card was 2 words: you matter. So I thought to myself, why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I get some cards made with 2 words on them that say, you matter, and hand them out to people? And I did that. My girlfriend, now my wife at the time, works for a small printing company. It's very easy to get that done, the graphic designer. And so I got the cards made, and the rest is, living history, where you can't imagine the reaction that people have to those 2 words, because the deepest principle in human nature is the craving to be appreciated. It's not a want or desire. We're literally wired to crave this, because we want to belong. We want to feel that we make a difference. We're important. And so I've been handing out the cards for this long. Got a book coming out next week about this whole journey, and then, why people don't believe they matter and what they should do about it to make themselves feel that they can every single day. It's not easy, right? But because one of the hardest things to do in life is to love yourself, because we look at our flaws and go, oh, they're overwhelming. Yet everyone you'll ever meet in your entire life is going through something. And so your struggle will be your gift the world will fall in love with. So if you share those struggles and how you overcame them, right? That's your toughness. That's your story. That's your scar. And we all learn from each other's scars. So I want everyone, my mission is to positively impact the lives of 1 billion people, to get them to truly believe those 2 words, you matter. Because if I can reach 1 billion, imagine the ripple effect would hit all 8 billion on the planet.
Yeah. Yes, because it's one of those things where, like, when you're touched like that in such an easy way, I mean, first of all, you're like endorphins, everything is, and you're like, I want to do that. So like the person that you're handing that card to is probably, and what could be cool is that person handing that card to someone else and having that ripple effect. How do you decide who gets a card when you're out in the world?
I don't really, I mean, I never leave my house without them in my pocket. I can't say the word never. Probably 2 times in the past 5 years, I walked out without the cards in my pocket. So usually it's someone that I've stopped long enough to talk to, meaning someone who provides your service, someone in a retail store, waiter, waitress, grocery store, someone in an elevator, someone having a conversation with, because you don't know what you don't know. And everyone you'll ever meet in your entire life is going through something. And we need to be reminded of that. So I don't judge. There are times I've gotten, I don't know what the word is, nervous about it, because it's not the right moment to do it. But for the most part, it's anybody. I don't run through the streets handing them out like the Pied Piper or something. But I do, if there's any engagement one-to-one, I'm probably leaving them with a card. And I don't start with it. I leave with it, meaning I hand it to them. I ask them their name, tell them mine, and hand them the card and say, look, this is for you. So everybody flips the card over. On the back of the older cards I have, it just says, you do make a difference. You're a miracle, a masterpiece, and a hero. And then that quote, the deepest principle in human nature is the craving to be appreciated. The new cards will have access to my website, which has the work that we're doing, because I want more people to learn about it, the ability to get their own cards, because it is. I actually started handing out more than one to somebody, say, hey, pay it forward.
Yeah.
So that's how you grow the movement. You need to have soldiers. I certainly can't do it all on my own, and I don't want to. This is about getting other people to make other people feel that they matter. Because if you want to feel that you do, this is one thing I learned, which is pretty important. If you want to feel that you matter, give it to someone else, right? Because what you get back selfishly is that feeling that, oh my gosh, because the reaction you get is usually amazing. Either someone smiling or saying thank you in a very sincere way, maybe crying or wanting to hug me. All of a sudden I feel that I matter, that I make a difference. Because I go through days too where I don't have the best day and feel, wow, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing here. It's not the only thing I do, but it does give you the opportunity to feel that you do. So if you want to feel that you do, give that love to someone else, and then you get love back. You can't get what you don't give.
Has this mission like completely changed your life trajectory, or were you kind of down this path to begin with and this was an addition? Or because I know you were in TV production before this, Emmy Award winner, I might add. So how has this changed your life?
It's funny because it's a great question, Richard, because it was about 8-9 years ago that I heard this thing whisper to me. I'm in a mastermind group. And so I've been big in personal development, self-improvement for about 13 years. It was about 8 years ago, I felt this whisper in me that, hey, Mark, you're here to positively impact the lives of 1 billion people. That's the why, but I know the how. But I'm in health insurance. I do storytelling. I've had a blog for 12 years. First, it was the Sunday series. Now it's storytelling for business, nonprofits, organizations. And I could feel when I told someone's story, the reaction I got from them, and everyone that read it was like, wow, I didn't know that about you. And now I love you, maybe even more than I did before, or didn't even like you. And now I love you. So there's that theme, you can't, I think it was Steve Jobs that said, you can't connect the dots moving forward, only looking back. So the things I've been doing little by little. And then when I heard the story about You Matter, why did I decide to do it? Obviously that spoke to me, and it filled the why with the how. So yeah, I've been building toward this. It has changed my life. I wouldn't be working on a book or a movement if it didn't. I had a song made for it, which came out really nice. So that'll be also part of the experience someone gets if they go to the website. They can hear the song too.
Yeah, tell everybody about the book. It comes out on the 18th, which is next week, and what the book is about and where they can get it.
So the book is about the journey. There's a ton of pictures in there, so you can see people holding up the cards, and myself and them with the cards. I actually went over to France and Italy a year ago and had them made in French and Italian, and the reaction was exactly the same. So I knew this was a universal craving, right? It's not just here in America. The book is about the journey with the cards. It's my story. I'm very vulnerable and transparent, and talking about at least 4 times in my life where I really struggled and didn't believe that I mattered. And then it's telling some other people's stories, and then what is stopping people from feeling this every single day, and then what you can do about it to make this part of your daily existence. So that's the purpose of the book. It'll be available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all the little bookstores. It's being published by Ingram Spark. And so it goes up everywhere starting next Monday.
That's so exciting. I know you also have a couple other books available, which I think are so important. Can you mention those and talk about those as well?
Yeah, first one I published about 12 years ago. It's called It Takes Two, Surviving Breast Cancer, a Spouse's Story. My first wife had gotten breast cancer, and I kept a journal all along the way, and she's a 12-year survivor now, a journal all along the way of the journey from a spouse's perspective, because cancer affects everybody. Obviously the person that's sick, but the entire group of family members, friends, everyone is involved in this illness. So I thought, I hadn't seen it told from a male perspective, I think once in like the past 50 years. So I decided to share that. It was on Caring Bridge, and I just took the collection of those Caring Bridge entries and turned them into a book. Then the Sunday series, which is volume 1 of the stories I told on the blog called the Sunday series, which are just random stories of courage, hope, and inspiration, people that I met or people that I was told about, interview them, share their story on the blog. I was on Huffington Post for quite some time with that. So stories matter. And those are my other 2 volumes. I'd like to actually, my thinking is to do a kid's book following this You Matter book, one for children, because how important it is that we're imprinted early in our lives, like the first 7 years, to have a kid's book that they read this over and over again. And the parents told them, you matter, you matter, you matter, instead of no, 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 don't do that. Don't be that. We all need to keep that wonder, inside of us. That's why behind me is the picture of me at about 5 years old, because that's me. And I want to always feel like that inside. We're all just tall, wounded children. We just got bigger, but hopefully, you don't lose the child inside you. Unfortunately, sometimes you keep the child inside you that is wounded, and you never turn around and go back and face that person and say, oh, the demons and the things that happened to me, whatever it was, I now turn around and hug them and release them, instead of letting them pull the rest of my life down, saying, oh, because this happened to me, I'm this way. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. So a negative experience is just a placeholder for the lesson and learning to come in behind it.
That's a good segue into what I'm guessing is your coaching, which I love. The idea of this, is that really what your coaching is based around?
It's based around a couple of things. It's helping release those demons, which is they're running parachutes. So a running parachute is something that, a runner who wants to create resistance ties a parachute to his or her back to make them stronger. And then we release that parachute. Now you're running faster and freer because the parachute's gone. So we all have these running parachutes as a metaphor in our lives of things that happen for us that we haven't let go of. So the goal is to snip those running parachutes, be free, and then you can go after what you want and get there quicker than you ever thought possible. The other part of the coaching is 12 principles of change to help you gain new habits and disciplines, and then a planning system to make those a part of your daily existence.
Gosh. And how can people connect with you and follow you?
So the website's youmattermb.com. So it's You Matter. My initial is Mark Brodinsky, youmattermb.com. If you log on now, you're going to see some things change because we're going to get it all spruced up by this Friday for the release of the book. Storytelling, markbrodinsky.com/storytelling is a great way to reach out. Also my email, markbrodinsky@gmail.com. And if you want to get so what this turned into too, organically, and I realize is a You Matter Minute. So if you want my You Matter Minutes, 5 days a week, you will get in a video from me starting next Monday. It's already on my social media channels, but you'll get an email with a link to have the video come into your inbox every single morning. It's literally 90 seconds to help you feel that you matter every single day. It's things I listen to, I learn, tips and tricks, or not tips and tricks, or just lessons and things that I've come across, experiences to help people feel this, because that's where it all begins. You have to love yourself before you can get that love from other people. Yeah. And if we can all learn to do that, because I think a lot of bad things that happen in the world are because people still want attention. They still want to be noticed because they want to feel important. Unfortunately, sometimes they go the wrong route to do that. They're still getting attention. So now they've gotten it and they keep doing that same thing over and over. It's a vicious cycle. But if you do good things, people will notice too. And you do good things for no reason, they notice even more.
What do you love most about your life right now?
That's a great question. Most about my life is always going to be my children. I have 2 daughters, Sophie and Emily, 24 and 22. My wife, Stephanie, my mom, my friends. I have very close friends. My mastermind brothers, Mark Palick and Ron Commodore. I didn't even know them 13 years ago. Now they're like my brothers, and it's all the work that I do, from health insurance to this You Matter movement to storytelling, all those things I love. And I also just love giving back. What can I do? Because I'm telling you, Richard, the craziest thing you'll read about in the book is that I remember being about 7 years old, sitting in my bedroom, playing with my little replica football helmets and having a conversation with God. And I'm not a overly religious person. It wasn't in prayer. I was just actually, I remember talking to God. I don't remember what, but I feel like he was telling me, Mark, I want you to do this. And I accepted it. what he didn't tell me is how challenging it can be. Because just because you're giving all you've got doesn't mean everybody wants it, doesn't mean everyone accepts change the way they should. And that's tough. It's challenging. But you keep persevering, right? You keep doing it every single day. The more love you give, I talk about this in the book, there is no defense to love. If you give love, no one's going to turn around and go, oh, I don't want that. It's like a life insurance agent going and giving, checks to someone who's, the beneficiaries of someone who passed away. If there's extra money, the person never says, I don't want any extra money, right? Everyone needs extra love. And we need that every single day, no matter what's happening in the world, whether it's good or bad. If things are perfect, you still want that because there's no guarantee of tomorrow and life can change in a minute. I talked about that one of the matter minutes that are coming out. Life can literally change in a minute, good or bad. Happens every single day.
Yeah. And are you still podcasting too? Do you still have your podcast?
Yeah. So the You Matter Show podcast. Yes. In fact, the one that's coming out, I think Thursday or Friday in pre-book launch is the woman who gave the card to the other woman in the story that I heard. I found her. I went looking online. She has her own coaching program. And so we did an interview and she's the first podcast related to the book. It went really well. I'm very excited about it. So if you want to check that out, it's on all the streaming services for podcasts. Right. The You Matter Show podcast. There are You Matter podcasts. This is the You Matter Show podcast.
It's the best one. So that's the one you need to look up. You Matter, the book comes out next week on the 18th. So I'm assuming pre-orders are available now on Amazon. Correct?
Yes, but give it a couple days. I don't know if there's an image on. Last time I checked Friday, there was not an image up there yet.
I was just there this morning and there is an image. So
all right, yeah. So thank you for looking. It's been a crazy morning. My wife had surgery this past Friday, and so I had I'm caregiving right now. She had a hip replacement, so I'm helping her out. I didn't have time to go on and check everything until this morning and wanted to talk to you. So yeah,
I'll help you out. Yeah.
You can do pre-order.
Let me know what you need and I'll look it up for you. We also have, as of last week, breast cancer in my family. So I'm getting your book for her husband because I think it's a great resource. And especially in the breast cancer world, the men are often kind of forgotten about. And caregivers there's tons of studies of caregivers and how hard it is to be a caregiver. So I love that resource. So thank you for that.
Yeah, it's tapping into making sure you understand what she's going through and how it affects the rest of your family and building her up and seeing all seeing the challenges and the silver lining in it, which is very important. There's a lot of silver linings in anything that happens for us, not to us. I'm sorry to hear about that diagnosis. Yeah,
I just love the work you're doing and the inspiration that you're putting out there. I'm so glad we connected. YouMatterMB.com is Mark's website. The book next week on the 18th, You Matter, the podcast, the other books. He could be here every day and then we have something to talk about. So thank you so much for spending some time with me today.
Thank you, Rich. It's been a joy. I really appreciate the opportunity. And hey, by the way, here's even a bigger one for you. Right? I got postcards too.
Oh my gosh, I need that, and you need stickers so I can put them on the backdrop here.
I'll make sure you get a copy of the book, and I'll send you can get the cards too.
I appreciate it. We'll be right back after this.
Tired of harsh chemicals in your home? Let's change that. At EcoGlow Cleaning, we bring eco-friendly expertise right to your doorstep. We will make your day richer by bringing a glow to your home or office. For over 20 years, EcoGlow Cleaning has been the trusted choice for professional cleaning services in the Charlotte area. From deep cleaning to regular maintenance, EcoGlow Cleaning offers a wide range of services. All services are tailored to your needs and schedule. Our eco-friendly products ensure a healthy and safe environment for you and your family, including your pets. For a free quote, visit our website at www.ecoglowcleaning.com or give us a call at 704-777-9768. EcoGlow Cleaning is a proud sponsor of Make Your Day Richer TV.
All right, everybody, we are back. And thank you for watching. Happy Monday. Happy Veterans Day. And thank you for 73,000 views and downloads of this program right here that you're watching. I get to talk to amazing people like Mark every single day of the week. except for Saturdays and Sundays. Although sometimes we pre-record interviews on the weekends too. So I'm so lucky in what I get to do every day here, and it's because you keep watching and supporting the show. You'll see a bunch of names at the end of the show in the credits of people who have donated to this show and make it possible for all these amazing things that you see. And if you want to, you can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/makeyourdayricher. If you'd like to advertise on the show, go to makeyourdayricher.com/advertising. We've got some new advertisers coming up in the next couple of weeks, which is very exciting. And of course, as always, we love Eco Glow Cleaning. They actually clean my house every other week, and it is amazing. So check them out if you're in the Charlotte area. Also, you should check out the Before You Go podcast coming up on the end of their first season. It is from Abode Contemplative Care for the Dying in San Antonio. Great nonprofit. Check them out. But they also have a podcast that I help with, and they have a new episode that comes out today. So I wanted to give you a little clip of the program. You can get it wherever you get your podcast. Take a look.
As people are dying, a different kind of energy is needed now, not the energy that you find from food. When we think about the reasons why we eat, right? We eat to fuel our bodies so that we can do the things in life. But as you're dying, that need has changed, and our energy now looks different. And in order to really prepare us to pass peacefully, it is important to start to wean people off of the food and even water. Because if not, then it kind of tethers the body to this place when it's really trying to go to the next place.
Before You Go is available wherever you get your podcasts, and check out Abode and donate to them. A great organization and wonderful people on that podcast. I finally got to do some theater. You know, since moving to South Carolina, I have not been able to see a lot of theater. Not because it's not out there, I just haven't gone. And I finally got to go see it. And they were guests on our show on Friday. First Lady, the stage play. I went and saw that. Thank you, Alondria, for the shout out. All of a sudden, I heard my name. And a thank you. So great show. I know it has some shows this week, I think on the 14th, somewhere in South Carolina. So check them out. Alon Entertainment is where you can find them. Okay. That is it, I believe, for today, because I have to go because I have a therapy appointment. And if you're not in therapy, you should be. Even if you think you shouldn't be, everybody should be in therapy. So that's my PSA for today. Okay, so on tomorrow's show, where did she go? We are meditating tomorrow. Barbara Bottolotti is back on the show. She was here about a month ago, and she's coming back to talk about how to meditate, which is very important all the time, but especially as the holidays are coming, and we're surrounded by family and the stress of holidays and spending too much money and eating too much food and, anything else that's happening in the world that you may need a break from. So we're going to be meditating tomorrow with Barbara. All right. Enjoy your day, everybody. Go make your day richer. Go make someone else's day richer. You've made mine by watching this show, and I love you for it. And we'll see you tomorrow. All right? Okay. Enjoy your Monday. See ya.